Is this what giving up feels like? I don't know, I don't know. Tell me, have I lost my mind? Nowhere to go, so far from home. Is this what giving up feels like? I don't know, I don't know. Tell me, have I lost my mind? So I break these walls and hold my head up high, and I step my ground until the day I die. As the rain falls down, there's no more tears to cry, tears to cry. So I break these walls and hold my head up high. No, I'm not giving in. No, I'm not giving in.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another round of Summit. I'm going to be your host, Awake, tonight, and today we have a nice EU matchup between two EU teams, WRTB and KRRC. Both these teams, unfortunately for their own sakes, had to forfeit the last round, and thus they're both 0-3, but trying to fight for their first win, each of these teams, obviously, to get a little bit better seeding in the Valley round. And speaking of those kind of things, bring up the image on screen by, I forget who exactly 100% makes these, Mr. Dr. Flem. Shout out to you, sir, about making these cool Summit graphics. I think the color might be very vibrant on stream. I have no idea, because right now it's very vibrant on my screen, but as you can see, none of these teams are actually on here. That's because they are in the 0-3 bracket, and another game going on right now, which is the 3-0 teams. They are fighting for that first and second seed in the Summit portion of the bracket. So that will be Legion and Taco. That should be streamed by, I think, McPaper and I think one other person maybe. I am not entirely sure. But let's double check. And yeah, McPaper and Smithers are both casting that. Go check them out. Just Google their names or search them on YouTube, their names. But this is what we have for the rest of the Summit today. So the 2-1 teams and the 1-2 teams are also playing. Got 6th and EXO, I think, playing later on tonight. Rofs and Merc early tomorrow morning if you're an American, or mid-afternoon if you're European, or if you're Aussie, you're playing really late at night. 22nd and Philo will be playing as well tonight as well. 3-5 and 1 SPS, I think, is being casted by Casanova around this time. I think actually in 30 minutes from now. And then ANZR in first is also being played on later tonight. And both of these, whoever wins the 2-1 bracket today will move on to the Summit portion. Whoever falls, we have to play one more game to move on to see if they get the opportunity to play in Summit or in Valley. And then pretty similar to what the bottom portion of the bracket of the 1 and 2 teams. If you win, you have the opportunity to win one more game, move on to Summit. But if you do lose, if you're 1 and 2, you are dropped down to the Valley. So that kind of covers that, because I know people always ask how does Summit work, and it's basically that. But we'll transition basically to another image. Sorry, it wasn't full screen, but these are the games that are being played today. So the top 2 teams are the teams that are both 3-0 or 0-3. That's Taco, Legion, KRC, and WRTB. And then the rest of the games, like I said, are also being played as well later on today. And fun fact, if I think if memory serves me correctly, this is the first time I'm actually casting a KRRC game, so pretty excited about that. I think we're just waiting for a few players. Looks like some players from WRTB did unfortunately drop. But let's talk about the map and the midpoint, because that's something, a little bit unique towards the console side of things, is we actually have predetermined midpoints. It's been the same thing throughout Summit, and today is going to be no different, with Canal Crossing being the predetermined midpoint. WRTB will be the allies, so they'll be coming from the west side of the map, while KRC will be Axis, coming towards the eastern side of the map. So I'd say, people always argue, is this, Axis favored, allied favored? Honestly, I think it's slightly Axis favored for the cap, but allied favored for recap and holding and winning. But I think this is a pretty even map for what is given. Obviously, if WRTB does, take this side of the canal, they get a massive advantage. Really only one spot, and it's these boats that KRC can cross over. And if WRTB is on point and denies them this little walkway, well, it's basically these factory buildings that are on screen right now that KRC is going to have to, mount their main push. But, all games of Canal Crossing, their main push will be right here no matter what. So I will not be surprised if, the entire game is centered around, this bridge or around this bridge and everything around it. But just as equally important is the southern part of the church. Just as equally as important, just due to the fact that you can get, good southern pressure, get some good crossfires. If you get this factory, it is very key for either team's success. especially as the Axis. If they do get control of this factory, it can be very hard to pinch them out. So we'll look to see what KRRC or WRTB does off the rip of that. But just going to whip out my handy dandy little draw tool if it wants to. I don't think it is going to. That is, oh well. I think it's on my other monitor, but anyways. But you know, Canal Crossing, I think it's one of the more fun points to fight in the game. In my personal opinion, same with Town Center. I really don't like Train Station or whatever this point is down here. I don't really like that point. That's just me personally. But I think we should be getting to go ahead here in just a few minutes. Hopefully everyone's having a good start to their Saturday or Sunday morning. As I know some of you that are probably watching are just waking up that are in Aussie land. And it looks like... Double checking. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we should get the go-ahead in just a few minutes. Breaking a drink out of my tea. But yeah, happy Father's Day to everybody that is a father or who has a father. Shout out to all the dads out there. I don't really know. I'm just trying to buy time till we get the map flip, which will happen in a moment. I'm not sure if we're going to get an admin message or not, but let's meet the teams. I'm really not familiar with either of these teams just because I don't cover these two teams a lot, even though WRTB last year I did cover, I think, last Summit in the Valley Final against 22nd with WRTB taking that championship, winning 3-2 on PHL. So they are a seasoned Summit team. KRRC, brand new to Summit this season, but have competed in other leagues in the past, such as LEU and TPL. Team killing going on. Looks like there's an invasion at the mid HQ. Ceasefire. If we're gonna get any sort of knife fights or anything like that. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Like they're gonna be friends until the map is flipped, which should happen here momentarily. And yes, this bridge does sometimes not render in. We might see that a few times. We might see some floating tanks in the air. But we will fly over to the KRRC side. Say hello to yourself if you are watching this back until I maybe edit it out. I have no idea. Do have a knife fight. Like TG. Any of these knife fights. Murray looks to be challenging him. Murray's going on to bigger and better things. Stewart doing donuts. Ah, yes. Glorious Stewart. Just doing donuts. But I think we should be getting the go-ahead here any second. It's supposed to be 49v49. Maybe they're missing a member or two for each team. Who exactly knows? I think I am the only caster for this game, so we unfortunately would not be able to, or you will unfortunately not be able to see the KRRC side of things, but I think this is going to be a nice little 3-2 battle. Not sure who has the upper hand in this, or quote-unquote who is the favorite team coming in. I think the voting that we did have for this match is KRRC winning by double the votes, so it looks like they are the slight favorites to come out on top of this. Yeah, hopefully everyone's having a good day. I'm just kind of, buying time until they actually start. Just gonna kind of chill. Um, yeah. I really don't know what to say. I think 3.5 and 1 SPS is actually going on at the same exact time. And then I think... no, that's not it. Where is it? Maybe it's going on the same time. I have no idea. I might be thinking of something different. Waiting. Right on top of the crane. Shooting at the fish. But yeah, I guess we can talk a little bit more about Canal Crossing. I can't really zoom in, but maybe I can zoom in. Just can't really see it. Up here at the top of the screen, there is a little bit of a spot that you can indeed get a little garrison down. That, you know, is a very, very common garrison spot. So, you know, even if, you know, it doesn't seem like KRRC can get down a garrison, they can on the WRTB side of the river. But usually that's going to be, you know, peppered from MGs and RDs, so it's going to be very, very annoying to push off of that, especially if they don't get a good start. But they, you know, theoretically should get to, you know, the mid cap first and into the F column before WRTB. Curious to see some truck snipes. Don't know what each team has in store for the truck snipe side of things, but we shall see when that does kick off. It's like, it does say that they're ready, and let's look if they are right. Yes, they are. Like, WRTB is waiting for one more player, but we are going to have to wait until we get the green light go ahead. I think, maybe. I have no idea. Flying away. Always a tough thing when teams take a little bit long to muster in. You kind of run out of things to say. I guess while we do wait, I want to thank everybody that is listening. If you were a part of the Road to D-Day event last weekend, thank you so much for that. That was a really fun event to partake in. Means a lot that we raised over $5,000, so thank you to all the players that either donated, participated in the event, or even just watched the stream. Thank you to the community for, you know, coming together for a really, really cool cause. So we appreciate all you guys. Even though we did have some technical difficulties, and it looks like we will be switching the map here any second. Once that does, we will underway. Yeah, we can only do some Carentan pedaling. And there is the map flip. Be curious to see what the 4th points are, and it's pretty much all at the top except for one itty bitty point. And it looks like I am joining Nas. Maybe he's dropping a box. That's very possible. Yes, looks like he is dropping a box. We will wait for him. So, but interesting map layout. Canal Crossing with customs pumping, blacktop, and then rail crossway as 5th point. So, pretty manageable, I think, for both teams. I think this still slightly favors KRRC for this initial opener. and admin cam, and I'll be good. So yeah, very interesting as far as the map layout and everything goes like that. Canal Crossing, fun point to fight over, like I keep saying, but pumping station and customs, really good for fourth points for both these teams, especially as the allies. You really don't want ruins for any fourth point, in my personal opinion. So for them to get Canal Crossing, really good for them. To get that. As far as the KRRC side, customs, it's kind of like the opposite of Canal Crossing. You do get like a little bit of a shield and a little bit of buffer because of the canal itself. So it's a very defensible point, but if you do, it's very easy to lose it by a sneaky garrison back here in like the H3 line or something like that. If WRTB does get something up here at the top of the map or something, they could, slowly trickle some people in there and slowly take the point and take it an OP, maybe even take out a Tiger tank. Speaking of Tiger tanks, that is one of the rules. It's Tigers only. No destroying of nodes, and one man unkillable arty, meaning you cannot kill the guy and no one can help the guy. Artillery, just one guy manages and polishes his gun. So you can see the standard layout from WRTB. Nothing too crazy. Looks like they're not even going to take that bottom truck, so interesting strategy from them. As far as the KRRC side, I imagine, yeah, looks like they do have a truck. I'm very curious to see if this truck does go under the water. This truck is getting into position as well. It's really the only trucks I see. Maybe they're having one by the tracks. Not entirely certain. At least see two trucks. We will follow these trucks into the map. Not seem like any trucks will get sniped off the wall, so no wall snipes. We'll kind of just wait and see at Canal. Don't think anybody's going to be rocket sniping for WRTB either, so a little bit interesting. Going to be really no one rocket sniping that I quite see from either team. Here comes the famous submarine truck. Hopefully they do it right and don't mess it up. On fire, and it looks like they all will survive. Good on KRRC for doing that, making sure their guys get across the river with no casualties whatsoever. No fighting has commenced yet. Should hear the first few rounds popping off here any second. Lay straight run from WRTB will get a few. Commander for today for WRTB will be Apache Garrison. I do love this Lux play. The Lux actually did make it across the river, but I'm pretty sure he will be engined in one shot from the butt. Poor Tiger hits him from the front, but he will be probably tracked. And here comes the age-old Luke's versus... Oh, the Luke's gets popped by the Stewart. That is something I did not expect, so good on this Stewart crew. That is the crew of Borgie and Max. So good on you guys for taking out that early Stewart. This three-story building is so critical for each of these teams, as another transport truck for KRRC comes in a tad bit late. He will get shot out of it, but WRTB maintaining this three-story tower with just a few bodies. Look at the starting map. Really not a lot of garrisons down quite yet. They do have a very far southern one, but it looks like they are going to get one at the top of the map where C Squad's at. I assume Ness will probably build one at Pumpkin and maybe one a little bit south of there. The garrison network will get up here shortly. Nothing too worried. Too critical that they have to worry about quite yet. Still have love to see those built, you know, a tad bit quicker, especially if your OP does get burnt really, really early in the match. Dial back here with Daz and Daffy. You know, nice little southern presence by the actual church that KRC is applying. Gengar is starting to recognize this. Dazman actually just starting to farm the OP. Even a supply truck is down here for KRC, but they are losing the hard points. Oh god, this camera is still very odd to get used to. Looks like this P4 is actually getting hit by the, I think a Greyhound from behind. Yes, a Greyhound from behind. Three-man Greyhound from Kami George. Huge kill from Kami George in the Greyhound. Sneaking all the way on the south side of the map, straight up north to get behind that P4. Probably waited to get a ping or two onto that P4 and then loaded AP and shut him down. So good on the WRTB. Taking out that early medium. And that's going to be a huge advantage because now this medium Sherman can kind of just, you know, roam free despite maybe some AT guns, but, you know, nothing too much of a threat for, you know, WRTB as far as armor. Party is starting to come down by these warehouses. Soul on a very powerful MG spot. Nice little jump spot that Soul unfortunately just died from, but you know, him just being up here can cover a lot of ground that WRTB is currently holding. Fortunately for him, he's gonna have to hop up back up there and lay some more hate with that MG42. Oh, Flipper gets caught with a grenade in his hand and we'll go down. Do it, Tickle. DB will get the refrag. Gonna maintain that 3-story. And looks like the first cap of the game will go into favor of WRTB here on Carentan. Look at the map now. Looks like they are starting to get some garrisons. They actually do have a half track. That is something you don't see every single day. An early game half track. That is something new. I have never seen, especially in like 49s, like an early game half track. Like you always see half tracks, honestly, you know, maybe like a half hour left into the game if the team's like in, you know, really good control. They're up on tanks, they're up on fuel. You know, you always see like a team maybe just get one half track, place it by, you know, the defense point somewhere like extremely safe. Not saying that's a safe spot for it, because I feel like if KRC just starts to lay down some arty there, that the tank or by that tank, that the half track will get blown up. So it's gonna be a little bit of a gamble if they if you want to get full use out of it. I'm very thrown off by this half track. I kind of like it. It's something new. It's something different. You don't really see half tracks in comp like at all, and if they do, it's towards the end of the game, like I said. But being it like within the first 10 minutes, one's already deployed. That's insane. Looks like we do, I think, have our first Tiger of the matchup, like Demon, and we have a Jeep with the commander in it, Stevo, or Stevo. Sorry if I'm butchering your name, but he is driving around in a Jeep. We're getting some more explosive ammo for his ATs and other things, but you know, WRTB now full control of their side of the river. It's going to be very, very tough for KRRC to kind of mount something up now, as there's only one spot unless they want to do a submarine truck again, but odds are they will get caught out by it. So very, very interesting to see how each team will play this river. But I do like how KRC is prioritizing church control. And an early bombing run from Apache Garrison onto KRC side of river? Something odd. It looks like WRTB is aware of this and will send some bodies to help deal with this southern presence that KRC pretty much has a firm control of. Even though they're, you know, shy in numbers now, they do have, you know, control just because WRTB did not have it. I pull them out. I'm not sure if this bombing run did anything. So we're gonna go into the kind of meat and potatoes of this point, which is this entire section. Looks like the medium probably did eventually go down, because I do see him destroyed back there. Medium tank for both teams gets destroyed within the first 15. Looks like they're gonna be low on fuel, I think, for a little bit, just because they did indeed get a half-track supply truck submarining across. Oh, he died. No. That's a little unfortunate. Try to submarine a truck across, and unfortunately for him, he did not indeed make it. I think going the opposite way is a little bit more tough, but no, it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. It is what it is. But KRC starting to wrap around, like, you know. We've heard it here before, and, you know, they're very known for it. The lawn wraparound that they love to do. Kind of seeing that now as they're starting to get control of the E3, E5 sectors. Oh, Daffy Duck working his way around. If they get spots onto this half track, that will be very interesting. But see if anything develops from there in a little bit. They are making a dent into the, I should say WRTB. WRTB making a dent into this, central front line, just trying to pierce into the red zone. The defensive sector of KRC as Green shoots 2 mines. Kind of like smooth sailing for WRTB, honestly, towards that bridge right by the tire. But if they just maintain control of that, I think they'll be fine. But as you can see in the back lines, KRRC starting to wrap around with 4 squad leads and a recon SL. Be very interesting, and they're really only lining up 1 garrison, and like that doesn't seem like a big concern from the WRT map side of things. But me being an admin cam, you can see everything as Ranqua gets a kill. I'm gonna be butchering people's names. I do apologize if you do watch it back. stuck. Or what he's going to be looking at. He is going to get down his OP, and I don't know if his guys are trying to get a box down. Looks like they're going to try to get down a red zone garrison. AT will probably go hunt for this garrison that is back here. There's an airhead, I think, is called in, and that's a WRTB airhead, so they'll be the first one to throw an airhead. The rocket comes in and will land in the water. Airhead is right in the commander's line of sight. He really probably doesn't have to do anything. Yeah, he is going to be fine. Garrison back here probably for, yeah, garrison back here is for KRRC. And I assume this will get taken out unless there's a strafing run. It does not seem like there's a strafing run, so Airhead will be locked up as the Jeep's engine is still running. I do love how we got a Jeep and a half track within the first 15 minutes of this match. That's the stuff I love to see. Just having fun with the game. It's Hippie Land? Or Hippie Lad? It's one. It's two. Somehow got across the boats without being contested as he brings out his rocket to damage the AT gun and then probably destroy it. Effie, I'm not sure. Did he get down a garrison back here now? Looks like he did. He's just kind of guarding it with Nays in the back. And I think that will free up the garrison for KRRC so they can get a massive spawn wave and completely surprise WRTB now. Unless these guys are in the kind of sight of it. I think they might be blocking it out. I think they might be... It's either in range or they're blocking it out. I have no idea. KRC getting behind them. Honestly, looks like KRC is the allies in the situation from just where they're positioned on screen. We're just trying to survive, but will die to a satchel. The WRT backline's pretty much wiped out. They really only have 2 backup garrisons. Yeah, I apologize. Not much ground is being made up from KRC, basically on the front lines. Looks like Tiger somehow snuck his way through. This seems to be maintained from KRC for the time being. I'm just waiting for a giant spawn wave to happen on this off this backline, Gary, but Mize is OP, probably blocking out the spawn every 20 seconds. Half track is still good. Yeah, if he continues on his spree, he is going to light up this garrison here in the north. Unfortunately, I don't think he notices the garrison. I don't think he noticed the garrison. He will hide and crawl. As Lenny. Will get shut down by Campbell. Very weird how these teams are playing this right now. KRC's kind of honestly all over the map. I would say spread out, you know, 65-35 in the red zone and blue zone. And then WRTB is just pretty much on the blue, just defending, just trying to chill. But it looks like Demise probably going to get on this garrison if it's not destroyed already. But he will get it. It will be a destroyed red zone, so good on WRTB for sniffing that out. But also nice try from WRTB, or from KRRC. You know, getting that red zone up, just unfortunately probably maybe a little bit too close to where they probably wanted it, but you know, nonetheless, it was a valid attempt as Daffy does go down by Shifty. Now it's just kind of this southern push from KRRC by this warehouse. Very surprised they don't have any MGs in this building. Still have a solid, you know, presence in the back. Bomber run is coming down. It is coming down on customs. I think we'll take a few. It's doofy. MG will survive. Vito will get a kill. Like WRTB is trying to pull some KRC shenanigans, having a squad back here, get some harassing done. Doesn't look like anything major is happening. I'm very curious if War Daddy will build like a hedgehog or something like that, just to block off a road. Oh, does he have a mine? Oh, he doesn't have any mines. Oh, I was really curious if he had mines. Easy will blow up this truck. Something just blew up. Oh, looks like that truck did blow up by something. I don't know what it was, but it blew up. But take a look at the map for WRTB. Looks like their garrison network is a little bit more better situated. You know, they have a good spread of garrisons kind of throughout. Nothing, you know, too much on their, you know, on their defensive line, but you know, they do have a good, you know, frontline garrison network. E-strike is coming down on top of this Tiger though. We'll wait to see if this P-strike will connect on the Tiger. Very curious. Oh! Unfortunately, will damage the Tiger, kills the rep station. Rep station, honestly, probably could have saved it. I'm not sure what the rep station's hitbox is, but you know, just I would say if you maybe did it like east-west, because you do have to directionally, you know, turn the P-strike for the Americans, but it does get popped by I think a 76. Yes, the 76 back here from Vlad will indeed destroy that Tiger. So even though the Tiger survived the P-strike attack, will get shot down, one shot. Well done by that tank crew. KRRC kind of just sneaking past WRTB's defense a little bit. I'm not sure where these guys came from. War Daddy probably gonna try to place down a satchel. Maybe. Maybe. He will place down a satchel. Will get shut down by Scotsman, but both these MGs will indeed blow up here in a few seconds. And they will blow up now. There they go. Nice little statue there from War Daddy. Those MGs out of the house. Bring up a little bit more guys on defense for their sappers to attack from. As Midpoint is actually starting to flicker a tad bit. I'm not sure where this pressure is coming from. I think it's just all soft cap. I think a lot of WRTB is actually, yeah, there's a good cluster up there right on the red-blue line in the red. J Squad and his boys are not even in the sector, so yeah, just kind of soft cap pressure for now, but there are some players in the hard cap for KRRC and just playing their lives. Dirty leads will get shut down by the MP40 of a Rybor. Rybor would actually burn the Overlord's OP, but we'll get him back. Ranku. Rankua. Shut down himself, but Overlord does not notice the OP, and the OP will stay up. Our Stewart goes down in the back lines. A Revenger. Just a presence from KRRC, just being dedicated to being, you know, a pest in the back. Very, very annoying, I would say, for WRTB's defense right now, but I think things are starting to mount up on the front line. I'm not sure if WRTB has any 76s up. I know they have the one right here, but that's their only one that they have. Looks like they are bringing actually another Stewart tank, so they do have a second Stewart that will be rolling up. But their garrisons are gonna get, you know, taken down a little bit here and there. Still have that blinking red zone. Like a Tiger 4 KRC is back up and running. 76 from WRTB starting to locate him down. I think Scotsman's actually rolling with the bar as MG. Yeah, he is. A little bit funny. Revolve coming around. Get Scotsman. Oh, Scotsman will get him. Very odd that WRTB now basically has to push back up from the south towards the river just to reclaim that part of the river. As something blows up over here, I assume probably AT gun. Yes, it was an AT gun. Doofy's trying to use his AT gun. We'll bring out a rocket, but we'll get punished by that 76 as the point is starting to flip a little bit. KRC just, you know, kind of bulldozing their way on the south side of the river as they're starting to cross now. Does come in. Climb run is coming in, I think, from WRTB, or from KRC, as WRTB will use reinforce. Bombing run's going to be coming in from the north side. I'm not sure if it's going to get too many people. We'll get one, we'll get two. Stuart will come in support. And we'll get hit, I think, by... I'm not sure what... Oh, the AT gun. The top of your screen, AT gun that 2 players are on. And unfortunately for that Stuart, he will end up going down. Pick a Rick. We get 2. Trying to get some more as Stuart will roll up. For Rick, we'll get another. We can get shut down by the SL. Stuart kind of holding down the WRTB defense a little bit. Surprised to not see too many more rockets come in from KRRC to help deal with it. Fortunately for Mel, he does not have a satchel. He's an automatic rifleman. As R2 Smith will shoot a rocket. There's a big spawn wave on OP. Point is still not flipping. Multiple rockets coming in onto the Stuart. Unfortunately, I think one does hit the tracks. Tommy George gets out, gets a kill with the pistol, but then gets blown up by a Ravager in his rocket. Stuart will go down with them. But Stuart, I think, maybe bought some time for KRRC. Bomb run does come down. We'll wipe out a few bodies. And maybe Meg. Oh, poor Meg. Meg will unfortunately die as well. The Rick is back. It's 1. OP must have been wiped. Rick will get Georgie as well. More smoke already is coming down. Looks like everything is kind of consolidated around this little section of F4. As a huge arty splash will kill both WRTB players by the bridge. If Bled actually abandoned his 76 or not. He did and ended up dying. Not sure if he's satcheled or not. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. But it looks like this is, you know, somewhat under control for WRTB. KRRC still poking and prodding their way through. Engineer saw Dank, and he did. A whole bunch of KRRC trying to take Overlord's house back. Now for this house. Chains on. Plus Overlord still maintains his house. Huge kills from Overlord as he gets another. satchel will unfortunately be his demise. When in doubt, satchel buildings, people, they will surely make sure they're not in there anymore. But WRTB, I think, kind of maintained control. Looks like a Garrison is actually marked in the back lines. Looks like Daffy is back on his backline shenanigans. Sure if there's an actual Garrison back here or not, but one is red from WRTB. It looks like something did end up blowing up. Probably a truck of some sort, yes. But look at this. WRTB starting to get some guys into the hard cap of customs. The SL gets onto a garrison spawn, and he probably is going to mark up that garrison for his team. So that is crucial intel, or maybe this AT can maybe shoot a rocket, but will go down before he has the opportunity to shoot. Garrison will be defended for at least a little while longer. Carentan does come down for that garrison. Not sure if he's gonna use the bombing run on it or not. Maybe they'll send some arty rounds there. Appear to be starting to cross the boats. NT opting to not use the MG42. Opting to use the other MG, something you really don't see too often. I'm not sure what this MG is even called because I never use it. He just wants a little bit of change of pace. But as long as you get kills with weapons, it does not matter what you use. Tiger is coming back for some defense. For KRRC. Ronin just wait in and wait. Because midpoint is flickering. Ronin lining up. We'll get one shot into the butt of the Tiger. Tiger will take a dip into the water. And Ronin gets shut down by, I think, either Phil or Johnny Rico. Tiger will be a-okay. I'm gonna have to hop out and get some repairs in. Jonas was hit by his MG, but look at this push from KRRC. Starting to put intense pressure now onto the WRTB defense at Canal Crossing. Flare goes up, you'll see a huge spawn wave right on that flare. I think WRTB is going to call back the horses and get back onto some defense. Go real good look at the map real quick, and you know, KRRC, despite them being down, they have kind of been playing really good along the back lines. They have really dominated, I want to say, the E3 sector, and they are starting to take it from that sector now. But that's not a winning, I guess, fashion. It could work out for a cap, but I'm not sure, because WRTB can easily, I think, just go back up there and collapse back onto the point. Or, as long as they have like a few guys holding on the front line, send everybody back and clear out them en masse. Bomb run is coming down, so I'm really curious where this bomb run is. Oh, there's an airhead here from the KRRC, actually. Nicely placed airhead, gonna be really well protected. As Scotsman actually spawns on top of the airhead, but has no idea that it landed on him. Oh no. Oh, he has no idea. He's defending though. Overlord spawns here too. Oh, he doesn't know that the airhead is right here. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Scotsman actually could be locking it out right now. Oh my gosh. Pickle Rick. Pickle Rick might have saw it land. Oh man, this is just...
No.
Oh, they have no idea where the airhead's at. Oh no, they're gonna look back at this and be like, what are we doing? As 4th point progress has started on the customs for a little bit, it flashed, but it could just be some spawn waves being spawned in. But you know, this is gonna be a very interesting spawn wave now, as there's really no one on top of this airhead. Oh my gosh, I know this looks boring to your viewers if you haven't really played too much Hella Loose, but this is a very crucial moment for either team. As I think Scotsman's gonna lock it out for a few seconds and probably deny the spawn again. I could be wrong on that. They just have no idea where the airhead's at, dude. Airhead's been gone unnoticed. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, we'll see if they get it eventually, or maybe a big spawn wave will happen. Who knows? Go back to customs and see what's going on back here. Like, WRTB is having a bit of trouble trying to cross this little, you know, I guess canal, as you can call it. But it actually does look like they did get a spawn. No, it's just recon. This airhead's actually not going to be useful whatsoever. It's interesting. Looks like they do get a spawn wave, but it honestly is probably the last spawn wave that they did get on it. Yeah, airhead's already gone, so just one spawn wave off that airhead. And it's just the commander. It's tough. It's tough to see if you are KRRC, just because, you know, they didn't find that airhead the entire time. It just was probably locked out, or you know, they thought maybe WRTB was going to farm it, or maybe they had a satchel on it, so just wipe out the entire spawn wave. The commander does take out a spawn and one player. Juicy turned around at the wrong time, and we'll pay the price for it. X-ray. X-ray will get taken down as well from the commander, as he does take out another spawn. Commander for KRRC doing a valuable life run here, just running around taking out some spawns. And he's on his way. Oh, he's gonna go to the 3-story. I think Scotsman might hear him. Oh my god, and he knifed them. We got it on stream, boys. We got a knife kill. Overlord knows his buddy got knifed. Oh my god, we might get another knife. Orgy, I'm sorry. You got knifed again? Got 2 knives in this game, ladies and gentlemen. 2 knives by the commander. And Overlord is waiting so he doesn't get knifed now, making sure the only way he can come is through that doorway. And the tank is even not being happy about it. Oh, man. Overlord's gonna come up. And we'll shut down the commander. now it's like what I like to call the lull moment of the match. It's, you know, after that airhead, it, you know, was, I would say, it was kind of just kind of like a, you know, a weird moment in the match where like both teams, like, it's the minimal most fighting other than the opener, I'd say. And that's kind of what we're in right now. Even though there's still fighting going on back here on the front lines, it's, you know, nothing major is developing. It's like they are bringing up a guy in a transport all the way in the south. That's a interesting use of that player. But nonetheless, KRRC is starting to these backlines. If something does blow up, is Revenger does get another shot into that 76, but will get shut down himself. So, like there is, oh, I thought that was a half track that was not turned off. And if you're just joining me today, this is Summit Round 4, Season 5. It sounded, I said that in reverse. Summit Season 5, Round 4 between KRRC and WRTB. WRTB got the opening cap and have been holding on ever since, but KRRC has always been knocking at the door, just kind of quite haven't gotten that little breakthrough that they have, you know, desperately wanted to get on their side of things. But, you know, still plenty of time, less than half the game to go. Plenty of match to be played for any team to do anything that they want. Like a tiger did die again by the bridge. Very, fortunate death for another tiger. I've only seen, you know, one tank crew. Looks like there is a half track coming from Apache here. Again. This, oh my god. There's a tiger down here. KRRC have brought a tiger in the south. It's against the medium, so this tiger will indeed win this fight. Down goes the medium. But oh man, this could get hairy, but Pickle Rick and Gengar from behind with a satchel and a T. I think they both have satchel classes themselves. Pickle Rick goes down. Gengar holding his ankle. And Sweet Corn with a huge kill. This tiger will continue to rain down as doesn't really have too much support. WRTB is starting to, I think, close in on him. We'll check back with him in a second, as now I have to, ladies and gentlemen, so I apologize. I will be back in a second. I'm gonna put my camera here. And I am back. And let's see how this tiger is doing. Looks like the tiger is unfortunately gonna get satcheled by Gengar. The KRRC type of things, but do hop out. Rocket does at the back of the tiger from Ronin. Lots of AT guys coming around the corner. Oh, Demon gets hit by a rocket. Oh man. Tiger will unfortunately meet his demise here in just a few seconds. Gabe gets satcheled. He does go, but No, valid effort from KRC, I would say. Just they didn't have the infantry support that they wanted, and it just kind of left that Tiger on an island just for him to get harassed by AT and people with satchels. So it was kind of to be expected. It is Carentan after all too, so you drive through any sort of town, any sort of structures around Carentan, you're gonna get harassed by anybody with a boombox. So. Yeah. Oh, Whisker with the jump shot or drop down kill. As he thinks about what he just did. And he just died to a I think that was his teammates. I think he was just trying to get out of range because can't escape through that little area he just wanted to, but nonetheless. Continues. And we'll kind of go far south to see what these guys are doing down here. WRTB pretty much maintains this garrison throughout the entirety of the match so far. So I don't see them losing it anytime soon unless KRC wants to kind of go and hunt. So supplies all the back line. Is this garrison back here? So I think Ness. Yeah, Nays, I think his name is. Gotta be a little bit careful. We'll alert KRC that he is around the area. Guns. And it looks like... Oh, a half-track tried to make it across the river and died. Oh. Honestly, what could have happened is I think he... whoever was driving got shot, because that's a KRC half-track, so I think he got shot as he was trying to go down. And fortunately for him, the half-track track is stuck in the water. A little bit unfortunate there. Firing squad of STGs and KRC starting them out up a really good push here. Right on the front door of Canal Crossing on the south side of the river. They are moving up that one Tiger that they do have. And I think that little bit of distraction is causing the 76 now to actually move back into position to maybe help deal with them. Bomb run does come down from WRTB. Trying to soften up this front line a little bit. We'll get a couple bodies with that. Overlord just holding his house. Really hasn't moved too far away from his house. He will hold the stairwell. Yep, and he will get another kill. Like Soul back in that MG spot. But he immediately dies as soon as I call out his name. It'll be very interesting to see what these tankers are going to do. But I feel like this Tiger crew is going to have to move up. There's a half hour left of the game. As midpoint is starting to flicker a tad bit. KRC starting to get that cap pressure now. Trying to flip the cap a tad bit. It's mostly due to the fact that there's no garrison on of Canal. Looks like they are rebuilding it as I speak. Slowly pushing up this Tiger now. I think we're gonna have a tank duel, but I think this 76 is indeed ready. But he is gonna be called out. Oh no, maybe he's not. Man. These tanks dueling here in just a second. I think both crews do have pains. Oh, but Rybor from behind does have a rocket. Oh, the Tiger blunders his shot. Vlad with a nice little jump out will save his tank from getting hit again. Oh, but that Tiger crew, unfortunately, the misplaced shot. Hello, Iowa. Some unfortunate misplaced shot would have easily killed that 76, but the 76 is now going to get satcheled by an engineer. Unfortunately, he places the satchel on the ground. Oh, but he is double tapped by rockets. Carlos Rex and Revenger. Now with that dead 76, this is a very good opportunity for KRC to get Canal for their first time in the game for them. But they gotta keep this tank alive. They have to keep this Tiger tank, because WRTB will defend for the time being, but they're gonna have to take care of this 3-story, and they're gonna have to take care of this Tiger. Those are the two main things that they need to do right now if they do want to capture this point within the next few minutes or so. If one of those things does not work, I really don't see them capturing the point. Tiger will be stopped by the light post. Yes, he will. I feel like this Tiger's about to get like a quad kill or something. Oh man, runs into a firing squad. Boger. Cap now for WRTB. As KRC is really starting to flood the hard cap now. I think they're the only players in hard cap. Garrisons are pretty much wiped around Canal Crossing except for one in the north and the south. KRC looks in a really good position to get this cap now. A lot of guys are protecting this Tiger, making sure he does not get satcheled. With my pickle. KRC is going to place a proxy satchel down. I don't think he will. Will get shot down by it. Yes, man. %80 captured now onto Canal Crossing. WRTB starting to slightly defend. More and more WRTB are coming back to defense. Looks like F squad. That is going to be Met Jocks. Going to try to come from behind, maybe wipe out a garrison or an OP or two. Trying to stop this bleeding. Rockets, unfortunately, not penning the front of the Tiger. Oh, proxy satchel right now would have been so big for WRTB. And there's the proxy satchel, and that will start some defense. Clears out that entire 3-story house. And someone just got absolutely obliterated by a tank round from that Tiger. Scotsman and others, as more and KRRC are starting to spawn back in, though. Bomb run is coming in from KRRC, and this could seal the point into their favor. Fortunately, it wipes out one guy repping the Tiger tank. Actually, will start defending for WRTB. sure if WRTB has a heavy tank. It does not look like they do. But more and more WRTB still flooding in. It's more people do die. I think those are friendly team kills, but I think from a Stewart. Oh, X-Ray unfortunately gets a non-pen. Pistol tries to get him with the pistol. Oh, I think he knifed him, but then got traded out by him. Wicks does get one rocket back into the Tiger, making that engineer repair more. I think he just got ran over. There's a flamethrower somewhere. Hold up. This is big. Who's got the flamethrower? Edwani. Oh, he died with the flamethrower in his hands. KRRC really putting on this pressure. Just unfortunately now WRTB is pretty much, you know, kind of reset. They did get the garrison back on the point. I think KRRC now needs to have to, you know, satchel this house. Or at least make the take back up, start splashing HE. Now Wicks coming back around with Ronin. One rocket goes in. Ronin gonna get a second one in. And that will be the Tiger, and that's going to be a defended point for WRTB. Well done, as we have a medic on the field. He's trying to throw some smoke for his boys. WRTB starting to clear house now as soon as that Tiger did die. Oh no, Dank fell in the water. Dank, yep, Dank drowned. Dank drowned in the water. Whew, got intense there for a few minutes. But it looks like WRTB is fully reset onto defense. Got big spawn back here on this garrison. Dino and Roscoe will let's engage this whole team. Yep, they didn't have a chance. Put down. That's some medic action. Yellow code pistol. Oh my god! Oh my! Holy shit! What a pistol kill from the medic! Oh my god! That's an insane clip, dude. Medics are the new meta. Oh my god. KRRC actually did get flagged the point as they have a huge push from now from the south. Oh my god, this medic dude is insane. Was he here, Thomas? Oh, he gets Thomas. Medic. Vanguard does not want to be the next victim of this medic's pistol. There goes the medic. Can't bandage that if you are a medic, but valuable life, I guess. He did get 3 kills as a medic. That's like, I think the most anybody's ever gotten in this game as a medic, but KRRC still trying to wrap around, have a lot of presence in the back lines. WRTB starting to put a little bit more pressure onto customs. Rick does get 1 rocket into the butt of the Tiger. Will get shut down by RT Smith. we do have a KRRC bombing run coming in. A very far away bombing run. WRTB actually. I'm not sure if that got a garrison or not. It must have. They must have had some intel on it. Used that bombing run. They could have just spawned on this garrison and, you know, walked up there, but you know, maybe they didn't feel the need to do that. Maybe they want to make sure they do it ASAP. Actually, they built some barbed wire. Very interesting. Looks like War Daddy is maybe going to place a satchel, blow it up. Hello, Casanova. War Daddy is probably gonna place the satchel down. Yeah, he will place the satchel down onto the barbed wire. That will blow it up and potentially that OP and anybody around it. Take one more look at the map. Looks like they are bringing up the 76. This half track has been locked out for what feels like 15 minutes at this point. Mr. Pebbles guy. He's just gonna say screw it and he's gonna use a satchel. I'm not sure if that's going to kill the sniper or not. I'm very curious if this has the range for it. I think it might. Oh, it just might. Just might. Oh, it's gonna be close. Is he in the range? Oh, he's not in the range. He will be A-okay, but there's a whole squad coming to him. So he probably won't live too much longer, but actually go towards customs here because I think these are some valuable key frags that these guys could be getting. Pickle Rick, personally does miss some shots and we'll dial in deep easy. And pick right to a frag. Oh man. Oh man. What? 76 or the Tiger tank back up on the front lines. Very interesting now that they blew up that barbed wire because that honestly, you know, could have been very key for, you know, some defense actually for KRRC. Obviously there's no immediate threat right now to this Tiger. Don't see. Looks like there is a 76. Looks like it's one guy in the turret. Maybe getting pinged out by Apache garrison. Tiger does drive up onto point. Actually, a second Tiger too. So a 2-Tiger push. I think this is KRC's play with less than 20 to go here in Summit Round 4. KRC have been basically losing this entire match, but now have a really good opportunity with 2 heavy tanks pushed up into the hard cap. They're not quite in hard cap. You would like to see one maybe, you know, you always typically see one on this side of the river, but, you know, they're just playing a little bit safe. Not pushing anything up too aggressive yet. They probably have some intel that there is a 76 out in looming, as I think they are bringing up a medium tank as well. I think KRC is just trying to eliminate some spawns, as they do eliminate 1 medium tank, and that will start flipping the cap towards their own favor. This is a really nice, like, little crossfire that both these tanks have. One's going to launch this main road where basically WRTB, you know, kind of got the recap on them, or, you know, defensive recap by holding that road. But unfortunately, they're not going to look towards that road, as Frost actually, who is in my squad, does mark. P-Strike is coming down. Oh no, he could have just drive right into it. Okay, he does not die to the P-Strike. A little bit of an unfortunate miss there by the commander of Apache Garrison. Now WRTB are going to have to worry about these two Tigers, because one is now in hard cap, and that's going to be a very hard object to move out of the point. As a supply truck, what is going on? Not sure who was on that supply truck, but ran right into the front of the Tiger. These Tigers starting to get harassed from the back now. And one does get popped. Gonna start some defense, but one Tiger's still in the hard cap, but he's pretty much surrounded. All sides except the straight east of him. Oh, there's a Stuart here. Stuart gonna try to get behind him. Oh, Stuart might have an angle. Oh, the Stuart takes out that Tiger. Oh, man. It's gotta hurt if you're KRRC. Shout out to this tank crew. Kami George again. Taking out tanks from the rear is his specialty, and he will get his second one of the match. This time in a Stuart, first time in a Greyhound at the start. It's the P4. Bottom run is coming down. The half track still somehow locked up at the top of the screen. That looks to be a KRRC bombing run. Ronin gets one, but gets cut down by My Name is Jonas. X-ray trying to peek. Unfortunately, peeked right into the line of sight of an MG. "15 minutes to go. If you are WRTB, what do you have to do to secure the win? And on the flip side, what can you do if you are KRC?" Because it feels like they've thrown out like a lot at the table just to get, you know, the cat flip. You know, they just threw out two tanks. I think they could have played that a tad bit differently. Maybe just one just hold that road and the other just hold the bridge, maybe. I think they wanted to get in the hard cap, and unfortunately they kind of got caught a tad bit. You know, it's just, you know, sometimes just bad timing happens, you know, video game timing. But, you know, 15 minutes, still time for them to still mount something up. It's just that I think their infantry is going to have to do more of the heavy lifting than the actual armor can. I think they'll have an opportunity to bring up 2 more heavy tanks. At least 1 more, for sure. I think 2 is probably a safe bet. War Daddy gets 3 kills. Gonna keep on pushing. Stick with War Daddy. He gets 2 more. He gets 2 more. War Daddy going on a little bit of a tear. We'll get the OP. Is getting chased by Ronin. He's gonna try to sit on the satchel. Actually, he's gonna bandage. Ogres will get his back. I think he will bring out his satchel. Maybe? No? Maybe? Looks like he will place down that satchel inside that 3-story. KRRC actually starting to cross the bridge now, or cross the little boats on the north side of the river. I think they got Georgie and another MG. will go and blow up. 76 for WRTB will be chilling on the hard cap on the north side of the river. Not sure if any KRRC heavies at all. Just looking at the main roads. Not seeing really anything. Maybe they have one coming. They should have one coming shortly. There's a Lux over here again. I think the Lux gets fully tracked and will stay in gear 1. Somehow a rocket goes through the tank. Trying to do all he can, but X-Ray's gonna come behind him and will secure his kill. Maybe not. He's gonna have to use probably one more rocket. Yeah, he's gonna have to deal with the 76 now. Gonna make sure nothing weird happens. And down goes the Luke's tanks, but this Tiger now, or the 76, kind of throwing himself in a little bit of a cautionary position. His old burst will get 2 for himself, protecting the 76. KRRC back on this front door push. They do start to flip. I think that's mostly due to the 76 just being a tad bit out of position, not really defending this this main riverside. He is looping his way back in, but KRRC getting some valuable ground. Huge ground. Bombing run is coming in, and it's going to be a WRTB bombing run. Ravager, I think, just places down a satchel onto the 76. Yes, he did. As you can see, he did place it down. That's going to be a huge kill. Tank is backing up. Fourth point pressure has started, and it has starting to flip a little bit. Down goes the 76 as well as an OP. Look at the flares on the map. Whole bunch of KRRC by the buildings. Towards customs. A handful of WRTB back here. Plummus and the commander. Devo. I think that's how you pronounce your name. I'm gonna click by him as soon as the stream is over. Nothing too much to worry about for KRRC. Just gonna have to go on full out attack. It's less than 10 minutes. Gonna see a bombing run airhead, I do assume, here in just a few moments. As smoke artillery is starting to come down now as well. WRTB does not have enough 4 and 76. Looks like they are bringing out the medium and the Stuart, so those are going to be their only 2 tanks that they can utilize in this final 8 minutes or so. They cannot really deal with any of the heavy tanks. It's going to have to be all up to infantry. It's going to be a very interesting last few moments of this match, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like KRRC has to have a tank beat. They have to have a Tiger beat driving up any second. Looks like they will have a Luke's tank driving up. Not quite sure. KRRC getting some good backline pressure. Are starting to contest and are starting to flip a little bit. More and more KRRC are starting to flood in now. This is where the meat of everything that's going to happen is all right in this section. They're going to have to get to that 3-story yet again and just control it. Just send 1 or 2 bodies there. If you are KRRC, if you're WRTB, just keep doing on what you're doing. Easy trying to throw a grenade inside the house. Not sure if he got a grenade in there or not. I believe he did. He did wipe out an OP. Oh, an Overlord with a nice little spot, taking out Deep Easy. All of WRTB is just flooding that 3-story now. Oh my god. Huge spawn wave in the backlines for KRRC. At the win, basically all their frags now is we're approaching 5 minutes to go, and remember they have to start capping above 2 minutes. If they don't, WRTB will get the win. Breckie will get a rocket into the backside of the Stuart. We're not gonna see a Tiger come up. Aw, man, I feel like KRRC really shot themselves in the foot without having armor here. They do have a bombing run. I'm not quite sure if there's an airhead coming down or not. I do not believe there is. This will be the last bombing run for the game for KRRC. It actually does kill the Stuart, so that is a plus. It is a plus with less than 4 minutes to go. Gonna have to start capping soon. Huge satchel does go up, and that is going to probably get a little bit of cap pressure back onto the KRRC side of things. His tank gets 1, gets 2, and that is going to actually start the cap flip. KRRC starting to, you know, get some spawns in the north now. I think they at least have at least one OP, maybe even possibly a Garrison up there. sure that they do have at least some sort of defense. When on these side streets, Sweet Corn does get one, but this dropped himself as a leg is starting to fly into the air all bloody and everything. And actually, there's a spawn right here. Is this the Airhead that I did not see land? Oh, it must have just been an OP that Kingard just wiped out. Seconds to go, both points being contested and both points actually flipping at the same time, but there's a 1 second, I think a half a second difference between each cap, with I think Canal actually being the one that's currently ahead. And yes, they are ahead now for sure, at least by 2 seconds. So KRRC have, I think, at least 15 seconds to play with, 20 seconds to play with now, but it's also starting to be depleted a little bit. Even if it goes inside of 2 minutes and they still have some red, that is a-okay for them, as they're all starting to flood now in. I think they get a few seconds. They're gonna have to start flipping in here soon, and I think that is going to be a WRTB win. Congratulations, boys. Get your first win in Summit, but hats off to KRRC for an incredible game. Lots of good moments. Just didn't quite get the, push that they wanted to, secure Canal for themselves, but, absolute valid effort from both of these teams. Wow, what a match. But both these teams could possibly face each other in the Valley. I think Valley Finals is, the only time that these teams can possibly play each other. I could be wrong about that. I'm not sure how Valley and all that works, but hats off to both these teams. Job well done. But WRTB will get their first win of Summit Season 5. Hopefully they continue the streak. KRRC still waiting to get that one win on the board for them, but absolute good game from both these teams. Both teams should feel proud of what they did here. Both EU teams both know each other very, very well, and we expected nothing less but a 3-2 slugfest here on Canal Crossing. Time winds down. Last players just getting their final few kills. I want to thank everybody for watching the stream. I know there's going to be a few more streams on later in the night if you are at least a US or American player, but if you're not, I think there's going to be a few games casted. I think 6th EXO, 22nd Philo, and I think one more is being casted. I think the rest of them are being casted later today. I just forget the times, I believe, but we wind down the last 5 seconds. That's gonna probably do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you for watching the stream. I do appreciate it. Again, GG's to both WRTB and KRRC. Incredible match. I'm gonna give mine to Ness because he was in my squad. That's kind of the only reason. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, and take care. Bye.